Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the SDR Triple Option Podcast. TJ's Top 5 or 6 or 7 or however we go. It's bowl season. It's postseason football. So we're not putting any caps on this thing, TJ. We're
definitely not regular season NBA. Do not bet regular season NBA. It's too difficult.
Hey man, Spencer Tiger Wrestling represent.
No, you can't bet on them.
And Javi Mendez's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Javi. I like that. But we can't bet on them. But you're right. It is bowl season and playoff season. Last week, I had some picks of the bowl games. I had some picks of the second to last week in the regular season, and it wasn't good, Randy. I wanted to give people a Christmas gift. I went 2-6 in your absence.
I think
2-6 in
my
your
magical
absence.
presence that helps your. You didn't feel compelled because there wasn't any tea on the line.
Well, I'm going to run through these really quick. In the Cotton Bowl, it was Florida by 3 over Oklahoma. I took Florida, and then after I made the pick, a few days later, we found out that they were going to have a lot of their best players sitting out. I think Kyle Trask, top 4 pass catchers, sat out that game. Had I known that, I never would have taken Florida laying the 3 points.
That's the thing with this COVID stuff. You get this late break, it completely affects.
Well, this was opting out. I don't know if it was all COVID or I think maybe it was just guys getting ready for the NFL. Might have been a mixed bag in there too. But at the near kickoff, it was Oklahoma laying 7.5, and they were a 3-point dog. But I took Florida. I guess I'm still going to grade myself for that one. That's a loss. The Duke's Mayo Bowl, Wake Forest by 6 over Wisconsin. Bull.
It sounds like bull crap.
It does, but it's not. It was Wake Forest by 6 over Wisconsin, or it was Wisconsin by 6. Regardless, I took the Badgers. That was a win for me. The Alamo Bowl, it was Texas by 12 over Colorado. I took the Buffaloes getting the 12 points. This one closed at about Texas by 7 or 8, so I felt really good about where I got the line. And at halftime, it was only Texas by 7, so I was feeling really good. And then Texas just smashed them in the second half. I think they won the game 55-23, something like that.
Horns.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was a loss for me. Minnesota, New Orleans. I had over 51. The Saints covered that by themselves. That was pretty easy, so that was a win for me. So I was 2-2 right there, looking pretty good. Then we got into the next part of the NFL. Carolina at Washington. Washington by 2. I took Washington. If I would have known that Dwayne Haskins preferred the strip club over starting his playbook, I wouldn't have taken the strip club. I wouldn't have taken that one, but I did. Washington lost that game. That was a loss for me. The LA Rams at Seattle. It was Seattle by 1.5. I took the Rams. That was a loss for me. It's crazy to see how far off Jared Goff has fallen. He's not playing good football. Wasn't until he got injured and, on the shelf. Not even sure he's going to play this week in the rematch, the playoff rematch. And then Tennessee at Green Bay, that was Sunday Night Football. It was Green Bay by 3.5. I took the Titans, and the Packers smashed them. That was impressive what the Packers did to them that game. And then I had a teaser. I had Buffalo by 7, down to -1 against New England. That was pretty easy. Buffalo rolled over them. Then I had Kansas City teased down from 10.5 to 4.5 against the Falcons, and the Falcons played them pretty tough. Only lost that game by 3 points, so that was a loss for me. 2-6 last week. 48, 54, and 8 on the season, Randy.
All right, we're gonna fix that this week. Woohoo! There it goes.
It didn't go in.
No, hey, a couple things right before we get into your picks. Kudos to Derrick Henry.
2,000 yards.
2,000 yards, set a new
nice
record. That's impressive.
Yes.
Also, Lamar Jackson rushing for 1,000 yards again in that quarterbacking role.
Yeah.
So despite the COVID and all the bumps and lumps, they got through the season. Mm-hmm. All the games got played. I was questioning that for a while. But now we are postseason NFL wildcard games start this week.
Yep.
I'm a little concerned right out of the gates. Sounds like the Browns have lost their entire coaching staff to COVID.
Yeah, and I'll talk about that one here in a little bit.
Yeah, but we got that on the list.
Yep.
And so let's just jump into this thing, man.
I think, real quick, Derrick Henry, I think only like the 6th or 7th guy to rush for 2,000 yards, so congratulations to him.
Set, of course, by the man himself, O.J. Simpson.
Back in the day. 14 games, then Eric Dickerson's got the record with 2,100, I do believe, and then followed closely by Adrian.
Now, when I say the man himself, O.J. Simpson, I'm being sarcastic. I'm not. But anyway, hey, but that, like I said, and I want to credit you very gentlemanly the way you're sitting right there right now, because I'm always got my legs opened up.
What I do.
Yeah, looking like a man. All right.
Thanks, pal.
Are you ready to go here?
Yes, right. I am, pal.
Indianapolis at Buffalo.
This is the very first game Saturday, I believe around noon. Is Buffalo by 6.5. I'm going to take Buffalo in this one. It's going to be tough. Indianapolis
They're
is a good
rolling
squad.
right now.
That's a good. Well, Buffalo is rolling right now. But
that's right.
Indianapolis is a good squad. Solid on the Owen
Rivers
line.
is consistent.
Phillip Rivers is consistent. He's been around, so I mean, he's a pro. He's not going to do things to cost you the game. But man, Buffalo's playing really well. Their offense and their defense is really starting to come around. Last year they had the best defense in the league. They're starting to come back, and Josh Allen is playing out of his mind. The whole Bills offense is. So Buffalo laying just short of a touchdown, 6.5. I will take the Bills.
And you know the thing about that too, that game is that may be one of the best games of the day.
Oh yeah,
I think for sure that could be one of the best games of the weekend because they are evenly matched.
Yeah, go on with that.
All right, LA Rams, the golfless Rams at Seattle, and you know how Seattle gets in playoff time. They seem to fix all the little
they do play pretty well. They won't have the home field advantage up there. The 12th man doesn't exist this year. This will be the third time they played, as I said a little bit ago. It is Seattle by 3.5, over under 42.5. I'm going to give you guys a parlay. I'm going to take Seattle. I'm going to take the under. So Seattle by 3.5 and under. I just think Seattle's a better team. I believe they've already beat them twice this year. I don't remember who won the game in Los Angeles. I have to check on that. But Seattle's a better team right now. So I take Seattle to win that game, especially possibly with no Jared Goff. And both these defenses are really good right now. So that leads me to go under the 42.5. And with the third time these two teams are playing, they should know each other really well. And I think it'll be tougher to score. So parlay Seattle and the under.
Okay, Baltimore at Tennessee. Now last year, Tennessee wrecked the AFC. They really did.
Yes,
I don't know that they're the same team as they were last year.
No, their defense definitely
They still got Henry.
Still got Henry and Ryan Tannehill and those weapons. Their defense definitely isn't the same. And this is tough for me on this one. Baltimore by 3.5 at Tennessee. I'm going to take Baltimore to avenge their postseason loss last year, and that stinks because I was just spent a few days in Nashville. I was right outside Nissan Stadium. I felt like I kind of become a Titans fan a little bit, at least for a few days. But I think Baltimore's going to come in there and roll all over them. I could also lead to the over 55 in that one. It's not going to be an official play, but I think there'll be a lot of points in that game because Tennessee's defense is trash, but their offense is pretty good. So I can see a really high-scoring game in that one. But I'll take the Ravens by 3 and a hook.
But you're not going to put any money on that over.
Nah, just a pretty solid lead to the over, but 55 is still a lot.
So we talked about this a little earlier, talking about that coaching staff being out, which is going to make it really tough to prep. Cleveland and Pittsburgh.
It is Pittsburgh by 6, and like you said, no Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. I believe their starting left guard is out too, and a backup receiver is also out for Cleveland. And I'm gonna take Pittsburgh by 6 in this game. By the way, they had all those guys last week, and the Steelers sat Ben and T.J. Watt. Pittsburgh almost won the game outright.
Yeah.
So, and now Ben and T.J. Watt are going to be back. Now the game's in Pittsburgh. Cleveland missing everyone like we had just talked about. Give me the Steelers in this one, laying the 6 points.
All right, now we got a teaser here. The aforementioned Buffalo, the Buffalo game involved in that, and the Tampa Bay at Washington.
Yeah, so Buffalo, if I think Buffalo's going to win the game by 6.5, I might as well tease them down to -0.5. Could also put Pittsburgh in here on this one too for a teaser. That'd be a good teaser leg as well. And then Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay is laying 8.5 at Washington. I think that's a little too many points to give Washington, although Chase Young came out and said, hey, Tom Brady, I'm coming to get you. You don't trash talk Tom Brady.
Listen, rookie, you may be good. Don't give him anything to motivate him.
Don't trash talk
Apparently you haven't been
Brady.
watching football for the past 20 years.
Well, Chase Young isn't very old, in his credit. So the last 20 years, Chase Young wasn't very old at that
But he
point.
had some years of football watching
I know.
there, during which Tom Brady has had some pretty good success.
So I will tease Tampa Bay down to 2.5, and I'll pair that with the Buffalo Bills on my 2-team teaser. I feel really good about that one. I would even lean to the Bucs laying the 8.5 points.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Washington's a bit beat up right now. Yeah, Washington.
Thank you.
Yeah, a bit beat up right now, and
Alex Smith less than 100%.
it's playoff time. Tampa Tim's defined, and now he's got Antonio Brown catching the ball.
I know. That offense is clicking.
Yeah, so the national championship, the grand finale of the college football season, abbreviated as it was, as odd as it was.
Right.
Here we have the team that no one thought should have been in the Final Four, Ohio State, who did things to Clemson that just should be censored on television.
Especially when Justin Fields got hurt. That was Clemson guy doing it, I guess. Man, that would hurt.
But, that was a brutal hit. Oof. But taking on Alabama, the powerhouse for the past century here.
It is the Crimson Tide by 7.5. 2 bets. Ohio State, spread and money line. I think, first off, I think 7.5 is way too many points to give Ohio State. That is a really good Ohio State team. And if any team can match Alabama in regards to talent, it's Ohio State. Because you look down the college football recruiting rankings every year, Ohio State and Alabama are right there. So they're going to have pretty equal talent. And so I think with that, Ohio State will at least keep the game close. I actually think they have a really good chance to win the game outright. So give me Ohio State, get the 7.5, and then I would put some juice on them to win the game too, because you get a really good price, and I think it's a true toss-up.
This one makes me thirsty. Thirsty. Okay. Now maybe it makes you thirsty too for a little Diet Mountain Dew. Makes me thirsty for an iced tea.
Get to the thirsty.
That's right. Get to the thirsty. Listen, Ohio State in years past, when I actually thought they had better teams, comes into this game and lays eggs. They have a history of laying eggs here.
Except in 2015 when they beat Alabama for the title.
Okay, except. All right, there's your one exception to the rule. Alabama's got three guys who could have been in that Heisman hunt. Should have been in that Heisman hunt. Running back, wide receiver. That's amazing talent. And their defense ain't too shabby.
Yeah, but I saw Notre Dame kind of put up some nice yardage on them, didn't quite finish drives off. In the SEC championship game, I saw Florida go up and down the field on that quote-unquote really good Alabama defense.
With arguably the best quarterback in football.
Well, that's Trevor Lawrence. That's Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, had he been in the whole season.
Ohio State just shut down last Saturday, and you're forgetting about Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a really good quarterback. There's a reason he's going to be the second or third quarterback taken in the draft. And typically, you go back to Alabama's history, Saban's history, he struggles with guys that can move and throw really well like Justin Fields can. Now, I hope his health is there because we talked about it just a few minutes ago, he took a shot against Clemson. That looked like it hurt. He was beat up pretty badly.
Well, I thought that kicking the guy out of the game for that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I kind of thought so too. But
that was just a hard hit.
He got injured pretty good, but everything I've read, Justin Fields is going to play, and they're going to protect him with some jackets
make him look like a giant
extra
fat
pads. Man. Yeah, and there's this thing called cortisone.
He's going to look like Eddie Murphy in the Nutty Professor.
They're going to shoot him up with that pretty good. So, are you taking Alabama by the 7.5?
I will take Alabama. Yes, in the 7. I'll give you the 7.5. All right, because I'm thirsty and I need some of that iced tea on my lips. So put your money where my lips are.
I got it.
After you clean it, and I'm gonna have a nice iced tea on you after that championship game.
All right, real quick. I'm gonna take the Bills. I'm gonna parlay the Seahawks in the under. I'm gonna take the Ravens, the Steelers, my 2-team teaser with the Bills and the Buccaneers in the national championship game. I'm taking the Ohio State Buckeyes spread and money line, 48, 54, and 8 on the season. Let's see if we can't do just a smidge better.
There we go. You got it, folks. Go out, place your bets, or place your iced tea.
Place bets. That's a lot more fun.
There you go. So, all right, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us this week on SDR Triple Option TJ's Top 5. And we'll be back to review and have some more NFL picks on next week's show.